is director's cut movie. Put on your mask and gloves. Action, they didn't notice us. Jump out from different angles, nuts. This one's a movie scene. Them cameras shooting, I seen them freeze. Frames, colour grey, so clean could have caught a case. This is director's cut movie. Put on your mask and gloves. Action, they didn't notice us. Jump out from different angles, nuts. This one's a movie scene. Them cameras shooting, I seen them freeze. Frames, colour grey, so clean could have caught a case.
What's going on, people? It's Flash Johnson and welcome to another episode of Director's Cut. Right now, I'm currently in Toronto, Canada, and I'm with someone that's a legend when it comes to being behind the camera. He's worked at the likes of DJ Khaled, Aaliyah, Drake, Justin Bieber, and many more. Director X, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Before we get into the interview and dive into your career, how have you been? How are you? How's the family? How's life?
Life is good. Family's good. You know what I mean? Definitely a blessing. You know what I mean? So it's a good time.
That's good. I really want to go back, to the beginning of your career. I feel like we know you, we know the amazing stuff that you've done in your years, but the new directors now, the new creatives now might not know how you started. What really inspired you to pick up the passion for being a creative?
I was always a creative, right? So some of my first memories are drawing superheroes and just evolving through. When I was a kid, I was always drawing, like I said, superheroes. And when I went into junior high, I started drawing my own little comic books. Me and my friends, I would take my comics that I liked, and I'd, redraw the pose, but I'd put a new costume on them and named them all after me and my buddies and whatever. It's all kid stuff, but I was drawing these comics, and that really would get my skill up. And by the time I hit high school, first year of high school, I thought, all right, I'm going to draw comics. All right. I was at a point where I could draw a full comic, no references, just, I was in there. It seemed like a real thing. And then one day on the school bus, this guy hands me a party flyer and it's hand drawn. I could do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started drawing party flyers. And from drawing party flyers, at first it's just you do it by hand and you write it out by hand. This is back when photocopy paper in your hand, right?
Yeah.
So I'm drawing party flyers. But then as I start getting more serious, now I'm making money. And I'm how old was I? 14, maybe, 13. So $20 for a flyer, you couldn't tell me making money, working artist, you know what I mean? It's on me, Dad. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 7-Up for everybody. But so I'm doing these party flyers and I'm taking it more serious, and that introduces me to computers. I was lucky at that time that, I lived in Brampton at that time. And that school board was a big school board, a massive school board. So we had computers and all that stuff in the school. So I was able to, all right, can I use that? Yeah, no problem. So I learned about programs like Corel Draw Corel Draw 3 for anyone who's wants to really, you know what I'm saying? That's a long time ago. This is the 90s, 92, 93. So I start learning computers, start messing with graphic design. So then my mind goes from, all right, not comic books, I'm going to do graphic design. Right? That was the route I was going to take. And along that time, as I'm doing party flyers and logos, there's people in this city that have logos and tattoos that I drew for them. Mastermind, the DJ, his logo I did for him.
And he still uses it to this day.
He still uses it. So I'm doing logos and whatever. I'm going to be a graphic designer. I left home really young. I was 16, moved in with my buddy he had a basement apartment. And they had turned the living room into a studio. He's a rapper. And they're writing, back in those days, all albums you had all these different type of records. Every album had a conscious black record. Every single one. You had your party record, you had your, you know what I'm saying? So they're doing their conscious black record and I help them write some lyrics. All right. So whatever, they do the song. Then another one of our friends, she does spoken word. So we went with her to one of her spoken word shows. And at the end of the show, they say, if anyone wants to come up and read some poetry, we're going to open the mic up. So I go up and read the lyrics I wrote for my friend. Right? Got all right kind of response, talking about church and you know what I'm saying? And they go, hey, come back to this show and read some poetry again. So I guess I'm a poet now. I got to go write some poems. You feel what I'm saying? But this is happening in conjunction with, I'm still going to be a graphic designer. I'm still doing graphic design. I'm still doing that thing. I'm just reading some poetry.
You're in your creative space.
Yeah, I'm in your creative space. And so part of this is what I mean, and you'll see, especially as this story develops, if we're talking to young people, you should just do what you're interested in. Not everything needs to be some extension of the hustle. Not everything, you feel what I'm saying? Just do it because you want to do it. This is art.
Just because you love it.
Just because you feel like it. That's what, you should do what you feel like doing. So now I'm reading poetry. I'm getting invited back. I'm getting a little name. So there's a whole world of people. I was Little X at the time. So there's a bunch of people who know Little X as a poet. And then there's a bunch of people who know Little X as the guy, the artist who does party flyers and logos. Okay. And the poetry reading, the spoken word thing's getting big. There's a show in this city back in those days, MuchMusic, which was like our MTV. They had a show called Rap City, the original Rap City. This is before even BET's Rap City. So Rap City decides to do a spoken word show. I had a bit of a name. I get invited. A bunch of poets come on and I read a poem on MuchMusic. Okay. While I'm there, I asked the producer, because I knew they had a unit assistant, basically an internship. Because one of Big C was an intern there, and he had gone on. Big C's still in the game. He's at Universal now, I believe, as a record exec. But so Big C was an intern at MuchMusic, and then he went on the BMG. So I knew not only was this a position, it's an empty position. So what's up with Big C's job? You go, Ray, work it out. So through the school program, I end up going to MuchMusic 4 days a week and working. Feel me?
Yes.
So now I'm a unit assistant there. I'm looking at the cameras. I'm looking at the lights. I'm doing, you know what I mean? I go, oh yeah, cameras, this is creative. Maybe this could be something. Again, but and mind you, I wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for the spoken word.
So it's now everything's just linking in.
It starts to, this thing I felt like doing leads me into a pivotal part of my life. Right? Not only is it MuchMusic, but this is where the idea of fucking with these cameras came to me, right? At all. So around that time also, Hype Williams begins to come into the hip hop world. So now there's these music videos happening and they felt like something, you know what I'm saying? It felt beautiful and artistic but it felt like hip hop because Hype is from these Hype Williams, right? And this before we even knew the name, but we knew there's something going on. So, Wu-Tang Clan, Can It Be So Simple? I don't know if you know these videos. You got it. Still to this day, it's an amazing video, right? And when that video came, everyone wanted their video to look like that. Flavor in the Air remix, big thing. I mean, Gangstar, all these videos, he's doing these things that, again, they felt like something.
It's early 90s, right?
Just early, early mid 90s. And, what is it? The Craziest by Naughty by Nature. Watch these videos. These are still, to this day, they could come out and they'd still be some of the best videos to be out.
Because a lot of the videos nowadays are inspired by the old school era.
Yeah, and this is the original stuff. So Hype Williams is now entering the scene. I am interested in being a director now. So remember the track. We went from comic book artist to graphic designer to part-time poet to now I want to direct. So Vibe Magazine did an article, just a one-pager on Hype. And I sent a letter, because, they have the address. I sent a letter, a package of all the stuff. Oh, and we're forgetting. My final project in school was, I decided I was going to do a video, but for my poetry.
Okay.
So I did a spoken word poem. Okay. And with this poem, I shot it. I did the narrative on handheld, camcorder, just anything. And, my friend had one, or it might have been my dad's camera. It's a VHS. Like 8 mil tape, whatever. But, okay. But I knew I wanted to have a little better quality. So I asked one of the cameramen, Basil Young, to shoot the performance. So he shot the performance scene for me, right? And we went to like the top of my building. right? And so we shoot the performance. So the performance footage has a little better quality because this was the camera they shot the news on. This was a professional grade camera. And then another one of the guys that I met was an editor at MuchMusic, and he cut it. Now, this was a day, like now everyone, you can have lightsabers and special effects and what you can do with your fucking tablet, what you can do with your phone, right? You needed a room full of professional equipment to do. I mean, a room, and there's tapes and machines and big knobs you got to turn, and you know what I'm saying? And tapes, and then like, it was like, it was a big deal to do any of this kind of stuff. So I asked this editor to help me cut it. But I knew after I had an experience, he had done a favor for me on another project, and I kind of just walked in there like, hey, and it just didn't, you can't do that. So I spent about 2 weeks, and now I was no longer at MuchMusic. But again, this is before security was fucking IDs and all this shit. So I just kept on going to MuchMusic when everyone was done working. And they just figured I still worked there. Hey, yeah. And then go in, and I go to the tape machine, and I would make my EDL list, lyric by lyric. And I did the in and out points to make it even like down to the frame. Okay. So when I walked in with him, I had the paper. This is what it is. So it was just getting the tape, go to the sync, and here we go. Boom. So I now have a spoken word poem with professionally made. So there's slow motion. The lips are moving to the lyrics. That was impossible to do.
Well, back then.
Impossible. You, with your VHS tape, could do hard cuts. You could put your VHS in here, and then you could wire it to another VHS, and you press play, and then you press record. You lose quality every time you did it. You'd have to learn the timing of the machine, because some machines, when you press record, take about a 3-second thing to actually get going. So it was this whole process to cut anything together, and that was it. You couldn't put audio on underneath. It was impossible to do. Impossible. Okay? So the lips are moving to the words on the track, dissolves, slow motion, dips to black. All this stuff was impossible to do. So, but I had this video from my final project. So I sent to Hype, and I also had some t-shirts because I would draw, and I had some t-shirts that I made, and I was selling them. So again, all this stuff that you're doing. So I got my t-shirt, send them a t-shirt, send them the video, send them a package of my art.
So you said a whole care package.
A whole package of all my stuff, right? And that's why I sent that to Mimi just to get to Hype. And called her, finally I got like, oh, if I want to get something to him, you know what I mean? Who do I send it to? She gave me a phone number and a name. Called them, they gave me an address. Okay. All right, send it out. So I send this package out, and around that time, it is just after, there was a program called Fresh Arts. Okay. Out here, there's a program called the Remix Project.
Yeah, I know about the Remix Projects.
Fresh Arts is like the original Remix Project. A bunch of young people, all different parts of the business. And Cardinal Official, shout out Cardinal. Cardinal does something with Fresh Arts called Maroon Squad. So the idea was that this would be for the kids in the city that are already out there. I'm already doing poetry. Cardi's already. So if you're already out on the scene making things happen, it didn't really make sense for you to be in Fresh Arts.
Yeah. Because
I was kind of little. But so we did Maroon Squad. And so there's a bunch of us in Maroon Squad. Everyone in Maroon Squad ends up in the bit. Julie Black was in the Maroon Squad, right? Like just everyone ended up in the game to some degree. DJs, you know what I'm saying? DJs on radio, and all of us. So it's really a message about investing into the arts, right? They gave us a summer, they gave us minimum wage to just be artists, and all those kids ended up in the game. Julie Black and Cardinal, 3 of us are in Canada's Walk of Fame.
It's crazy.
Right? Invest in the arts. So we all do this, and then Cardi says, hey, we're going to go to New York. We're going to take a trip to New York and we visit record labels and all this kind of stuff.
What year was this?
This is maybe 94?
94, okay.
So we all go to New York, get on a bus, go to New York City. And while there, I now call Big Dog, like, y'all got the package, da-da-da-da-da. Right? Yeah, we seen it. It was a whole thing. At one point, I felt like they were fucking around, right? Because I called them, like, we don't know who you are. Oh, word? So I went to the office to get my stuff back.
That's a good one still. That's a
give
good
me back
one.
my shit, bro. What do you mean? T-shirts and shit, give me back.
Yeah.
But when I got there, Amir was shout out Amir. He was the office manager. And he said, I go, you're going to watch this. Someone's watching this tape. You know, I showed him the video, goes, oh, I remember slow motion, lips. Okay. You can see something's going on. This kid is, right? You should wait till Chelsea comes back. Chelsea was the in-house producer. Chelsea comes back. I show her that tape. I show her all this stuff. I go, I know I'm good enough to work for free. She said, come back in a month. Came back to Toronto, and it was just, you know, when you've got that small town feel, you know, that feel, you're talking to everybody, is everything. What are you doing? Well, you know, man, you're working on the music, you know, more time is like, you know, with the music thing still, you know what I'm saying? You're like, you know what I mean? It just feels like, yo, I gotta get out. I gotta get out.
You're stuck in a box.
Yeah, like you can feel that feeling. So I leave 2 weeks early. The day I walk into the office is Chelsea's last day.
And you didn't know that?
I was supposed to come in another 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Last day, the day I walked in. So a little bit of confusion. Kiki comes in. She's like, I don't know who you are. I don't know. Now, this is the boss, Kiki.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is about. And she kind of just leaves me there. I'm like, and I just came the next day and started working. I just went there like they had said, come back.
Oh, and you just came back.
I just came back. Started working. Shit you can do when you're 19 years old, you can't do when you're a grown up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why there's something to be said about get out there and do it when you're young. People let a lot of shit go when you're a fucking kid. So I just came and started interning. All right. So I'm an intern there now. I'm dropping off packages. I'm doing this and that. But I start to organize the office because I had nowhere to go. My stayed at my aunt and uncle's place in Flatbush. They didn't even have a TV. The TV with cable was in their bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just here in the house, right? So, and I'm in like the tiny little guest room. Make your guest room uncomfortable, just a little uncomfortable. Don't do comfortable guest rooms. That's my advice to all y'all. Don't do comfortable guest rooms. Your friends show up, be like, yo, bro. It's my room now. No. So anyway, I just would be in the office all the time. But then I'd like rearrange the furniture. It made more sense. Like they used to have, the door used to go like this, and they used to have the main desk at the side. So people would open the door and walk right by the receptionist.
Yeah.
Then one day they opened up the door and I'd moved the desk in front of the door. So you open the door and now there's a desk right there and all the chairs are along the wall and go, oh, you're the receptionist. And then people stopped walking by the receptionist. They walked up to the receptionist, said, hey, what are you doing? And then they take a seat because it looked like an office. But who did this? X did it.
Yeah, it's the small details that you'll do to stand out.
Not even trying to stand out. This makes more sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I did this. I did that. The tapes, right? They go get the Wu-Tang video and you'd have to go dig through boxes and find the tapes. I took the MuchMusic library system, which back in that day wasn't computers. It was like an old library. Like you pull out the cards and go Madonna, M. And then they had all the tapes had codes. A digibeta was this, a 3/4 tape was that, a 1/2 inch was that, right? So I did that. So now they come into the office one day and what's this? Oh, let me show you how you find it. Now, if you want to find a video, you look up the name and this is a tape and this is, oh shit. People are like, this kid. And in all the places I went, when they found out I could draw, then that became utilized. Even at MuchMusic, when they saw that I could draw, oh shit, we need you to draw this. We want you to draw that.
Let's cover that.
Right.
Yeah.
So now at Big Dog, oh, he can draw. You're doing storyboards.
Oh, now I understand now I'm seeing how everything links together.
Yes. You feel what I'm saying? So now I'm doing storyboards. Now I'm getting paid.
That's what,
you know what I'm saying? Now I could go get an apartment. You know what I mean? Like the life begins. I could get a little fly. I got a little my Nautica jacket.
The Timberland boots.
Yeah. You know. So this all are these steps to get me to the point because now I'm delivering packages. I'm meeting the people. I'm meeting the people at Def Jam. I meet people at Bad Boy. So when they got a little job for me, I can do it. I'm coming back here, and I know the long story, but this is the story. This is actually the story that means something. Okay. So I'm in New York and I'm working for Hype Williams, right? Big video, Hype fucking Williams.
Yeah, come on.
LL Cool J video, all that. I come back here now. There's a program in Toronto and Canada called Video Fact. So you could get a grant to make a music video. They give you like 10 grand, 15, 20, you know what I mean? Enough to make a fucking video. So I come back. Remember now, I know everybody. I've been on the scene. Everyone knows me. I'm going, yo, I'm working with Hype Williams. I'm making like, I'm seeing it happen. Let me do your video.
It's that. As much as you love the city, it's just the mind state of.
It's not me. It's them.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that draws. So people, when you're thinking of yourself, go, hey, I'm an artist. I draw. I'm working with this guy. It's a very visual art to visual art. This is a logical jump. But people don't, everyone, you believe in yourself. No one believes in you. People believe in themselves. They don't believe in anybody else. So go, hey man, I'm directing. I'm trying to start directing. But you draw.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm trying to start rapping, but you direct.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. But the people don't believe. So all these people, and I felt extra hurt about it because I knew all these people. You know what I mean? Like, we know each other. Shouldn't you? Especially when you're young. I mean, people have this attitude all the way through their life. I know you, so you should do this for me.
Yeah, that doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. And then even if you've had some interactions, they're like, come on, we've hung out. You should definitely do this for me. Right? And no one was doing it. There was another guy that was the hot guy. That's the guy everyone wanted to work with. And they all kind of disregarded me, which is fine. This is God's plan, right? And it definitely worked out. But that was what was going on. So I'm over on this side. I'm trying to get videos. No one's doing it. I finally get one little video. I work that. I get another little video. I work, and I showed that video to Steve Carr, one of the directors at Big Dog. And Steve makes a few calls. He gets me a music video, right? It's for Pirate MC featuring Busta Rhymes.
Yes, because when you done that video, you actually fucked it up.
Yes.
How did you learn from that mistake? And tell us that story.
Okay, so you got the whole journey now, right? Now I'm actually directing a music video for a record label, big artist, right? And it's one thing to be confident when everyone's got nothing, right? I'm making videos for 10 grand. And it's like, all right, you might have shot more videos, but it evens out. Even though I might not have directed a video, I'm fucking right beside the man shooting the biggest videos in the world for the biggest artist.
He's the biggest director.
The biggest director doing the biggest videos and bigger things. So yeah, you've directed, but I never felt like, oh gosh, wow, no, whatever. Right? So that changed when I came, and I'm now doing $100,000+ music video with all, the crew. Even though the crew was a lot of people on some up and coming shit, they have been doing it. Now they really got experience. So I was intimidated and I wasn't prepped and I wasn't ready and I honestly didn't know enough. So it was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster. I went home really sad, just devastated, and was able to talk to Hype. And he told me that feeling that you suck, that's the enemy. That's what you got to fight. Right? And I also spoke to Alan Ferguson. He's another director. He did all the Solange videos when she kind of hit her artistic mode. He married Solange, actually. I don't know. I think they're divorced. But he was a DP and he told me a bunch of technical stuff. This is this and this is that. And after that, I went out and went to the bookstore and bought every book I could.
Yes, because this is obviously something that you're the kind of person that will read books and read every single book, makeup, lighting.
Yes.
And you didn't take the generic route of going to film school or trying to do what they say academic ways of doing it. You literally went and done it yourself. Have you always been that kind of person like that?
Yeah. When I get on something, I'm on something, right? So I got all those books I started reading and because I didn't have the knowledge. You have to have the technical, especially if we're talking to directors, but this goes across the board. You walk into a position and you don't know the language of your industry. You don't know the language of the art form you're in or whatever it is you're doing. You can't speak that language.
Yeah, where's the DOP? Where's the first AC?
Yeah, they look at you like, what are you doing here? So I went and read. And then I remember on set, I'm shooting. So I get this little job for this artist named Cormega. Again, I've been dropping off packages. And so people knew me. They knew I was Hype's guy. Hey, I got a little thing. I'd show people a little this, a little that. So I'll give you here's a little commercial thing. So Def Jam. I always tell people your culture is where you go. The major record labels, I mean, even when I was shooting big videos, we're like, I don't know. But Def Jam, Bad Boy, those ones who said, okay, we'll give you a shot. All right, kid, right? Because they understand the culture. You're not just some kid. Right? So I shoot this Cormega thing. Cormega had an idea based on a scene from Scarface. I wanted to make it something different, so I took the lighting from Clockers, which was this movie that Malik Saeed directed. So he was the DP on. Spike Lee directed it. He has this interrogation scene where the people, the light is like, people are shining. The highlights are blooming off their heads. Asked him how to do it. He explained it to me. Oh, okay. Well, I used a ProMist filter and it's 4 stops over. I now understand what that means.
Because you've been reading the books.
I've been reading the books. Okay. All right. This is blah, blah, blah. And then I remember being on set and we're lighting and I look at one of the lights and I go, scrim that light. And I go, I said that. And I'm right. Scrim the light.
Well, you said you gave us some lighting tips when you walked in, and I think my guys they didn't say no.
Right. I mean, so the knowledge seeps in, right? So and now that, and I always remember scrim that light, and I was correct. Scrim is like a net that you put in front of a light to knock down the light. So I did that, but I also said, when we were prepping, I said, give me a song, give me like a verse and a chorus. We'll shoot like a little music video. So we went to the basement and shot this little half verse music video, right? Now I had something for me. His thing was horrible. It was an awful idea. And he's not an actor, right? But I now had my little music video. Right? And then from there, also building a relationship with Def Jam, where they gave me my next video, which is EPMD Richter scale. Okay. And each one of these things means something. So these stories all flow into this learning curve. So on Richter scale now, EPMD Richter scale, I had drawn all the lighting setups, right? So I'd done,
You drew all the lighting setups.
I said, the light goes here, flag this, because the idea was, Hype had done a video for LL Cool J, I Shot You. So I wanted to make, there's like hard light. So it's just like, deep eyes, that kind of, the light's right here, right? There's the brick wall is hard and gritty. So I get this DP and being Little X with no record of I have no track record, they're giving you their junior guys, a guy that never gets work. Now I'm getting a shot. So I get some guy who's whatever. And we are shooting, not only did I light it and I wanted hard light, I wanted everything to have like a feel. So we filtered everything. Chocolate filter, tobacco filter. So, like putting on sunglasses. Everything felt this kind of warm feeling to it. And filters have strengths. So you can have a half strength, 1, 2, 3, right? And each one of these strengths cuts light. So a number 1 chocolate filter is going to remove some light. A number 2 chocolate, number 3. And normally if you're outside in sunshine and you put in one of these filters in, if you don't, you have to compensate, right? So in all my books, you put in the filter, and then if you put in the filter, now that you've cut light, you open up a bit your f-stop to compensate for this light that you've removed, okay? And like I said, if you shoot it outside, and most people aren't doing what I'm doing with this light, hard light, dark places, whatever. And I'm looking at the camera, we're shooting this scene, we have Eric Sermon and the one light and another light on the wall, it's very dark. And I hear this voice whisper in my ear, ask about compensation. What's the compensation? And it's with a number 3 chocolate filter. So this is cutting light. This is like 2, 3 stops. What's the compensation on a number 3 chocolate filter? And the guy goes, I don't compensate.
You look at him like,
doesn't make sense. Because the books say you compensate. But I guess maybe this is a DP. Like this guy's working. I guess it's different in the field. I guess it's different than the book. So I go, okay. So now we go to the telecine. So back in those days, you would have to transfer the film to tape. And then from that tape, you would edit your video together. So I'm in the telecine and he comes in, right? And we're, doing doing this and doing that. And then up comes that footage. And it's all underexposed. You could see like only if the light directly hit it would you see it. So it's like a white t-shirt, his cheeks, like it was like he's there, but he was barely there. And I look, I go, oh, this looks underexposed. And the guy goes, oh, hey man, so I really got to go. And he like packs up his shit and damn near runs out the place. He knows he fucked up. But the key here is that whisper. That is the key, especially for directors. That little whisper you're going to hear in your voice, the game you're going to be playing is listening to the whisper and acting on it. Anytime I've heard the whisper and not acted on it, I've regretted it.
Do you know what? It's mad you saying that because I feel like I've been on set and I've heard the whisper like, nah, this ain't the shot. But I'm like, yeah, next shot. And then when you get home to the edit, that wasn't the shot.
The game is, this is what I say. Sometimes God only whispers, but he knows you heard. You know you heard that. You know you heard that. And getting to the point now, not only listening to the whisper, but it's better for you. You've set it up. You've done the lights. You've done the thing. The camera's there. We're ready to go. And the whisper says, this ain't it. It's better for you to fucking redo it all and figure the fuck out and move the thing and make it work.
Than do the shot.
Than to do the shot. So yes, you lost the this, but now you got you feel what I'm saying? You have to listen to the whisper, right? Because that initial idea might have got you into the room, right? But the whisper is going to, okay, You feel what I'm saying? That is really the game. I think in life, but I mean, I can't speak to all that, but on set, I sure as fuck can.
No, it's that story and showing us how you basically got in the game and what you had to do and the pinpoint you had to do to get where you are. I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? Within your career, you've had moments where you've had to waiver your fee because you want to make sure the video is how you want it.
Yeah.
When you've done that, like, has it been something that you've done and you're like, yo, I'm happy I've done it because that's my career?
My sales rep laughed about it. I remember her saying, well, every time, because people thought I was crazy, to give up 20 grand, 30, you know what I'm saying? Like, take the money. They thought I was nuts. Some shit, I wouldn't do that now. But when, in your 20s, you're full of passion. But all those videos ended up being big videos. She said, every time he gave up his money, like nominated for MTV Awards or big, like, you know what I mean? Like those investments.
What videos was it?
Peaches and Cream, I definitely remember I gave that money up for. I think Lloyd Banks' Karma I did that for as well.
That's crazy. And
no one ever even said thank you. You got to understand, these are thankless.
So when you done that and no one said thank you, how did that make you feel? Like,
I mean, on some shit like, yo, you can't even, not a thank you, not a hey, do this one, not even, you know what I mean? But that's not how that business works. That's not how anything, I didn't do it for them anyways. It wasn't a play to like, hey, now, blah, 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 blah. I just thought it would have been respectful. But it is what the fuck it is. Like I said, because all the times I did it, when I made that investment, it worked out for the better.
Team, you all come from an era that we're not coming from. I can go into a store, buy a DSLR camera, go and film a music video, edit it, put it on YouTube and do it all myself. When you was doing music videos back in the day, how important was your team for you?
I mean, team, not even back in the day, team right now as a director, even if you're just even a few people. Look, there's different parts of your team. There's your team that's around you all the time, right? The executives, the executive producers, the production company, whoever it is, those people that are helping you go get work. They're going to eat when you eat, right? That's important. And you can't always have a situation where they're your friends, but what you want is someone that cares about you, right? And you should care about them. And we're trying to do this together. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that, for me, I've been fortunate enough that I have, my friends were also interested in part of this thing. They wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And from the culture, a lot of times a group of friends also have common interests. They all want to make music. They all want to do a thing. It's that common interest brought them together many times. Well, if you have that friendship, then find these positions and let's, you know what I mean? Let's team up and let's go. That's great. And as you start getting into the team of the crew, now this is a different kind of team. This is a different kind of leadership, right? Like my best friend became my manager, and we're now partners in a company we own together, fella. Okay. So the leadership that he has is with the staff. It's a different kind of leadership.
Yeah.
It's a leadership of people that are in the office every day, every few days. And so, you know, he'll take us all out on team building. We'll go take a walk, or, I mean, that's one of my other partners we'll do. Like, we're doing a Saturday walk. We did a retreat where we went off and, you know, got a nice house, and everyone went up there, and we had activities to do. And we'll take, maybe Kendrick Lamar came. We took the whole team and went to go see the concert. And afterward, we went backstage and got to shake his hand. Okay. So that type of leadership that keeps people motivated, makes people feel like I'm part of something and I'm respected here. My leadership is battlefield leadership. Okay. I get a group of people. We come together. We got a day or 2 days or 15 days or 30, or you feel what I'm saying? But within that, there's always still the same thing going on. I need people to be engaged. I need their best self. I need them feeling motivated. I need them feeling good spirits. I need them trusting me in my direction. Right?
So it's the team.
You just got a lot more light in here.
Yeah, I don't expect nothing less.
That's
Actually still directing throughout the interview.
Yeah, it's like that's a good 2 stops. Yeah, that was a clear change. It feels like it's about to go back under a cloud in a second. You'll deal with it. See, you feel it? It's going down again. You good?
How's that one last? They're probably around 1.7.
I think you're good for a second after that. In that, like, the reason why I say battlefield leadership, because now in this, on top of all this, that you need to have people feeling good, motivated, all these things are constantly going wrong. Shit's going late. That gets broken. There's all these other stresses happening. And then there's a stopwatch, right? You have X amount of time to get this done.
Yeah.
Go. And if you pass that time, more money.
Yeah.
Okay. So that stopwatch is connected to a checkbook. So how do you get the best out of people? How do you get everyone motivated? I have a not simple, but this is the way I approach it, is that I don't regard, I'm going to give you all your department. Say you're my director of photography. Okay. You get to be right about being the director of photography. There's a caveat, but we'll start here. You get all your department. You are now completely wrong about everyone else's. I don't care what you have to say about anyone else's. It's probably best that you just keep your mouth shut about everyone else's. And if you have something to say, you know, kind of humbly, because if you now get to say shit about other people's, don't they now get to say something about your department? No, you're here to do that. Yeah. They're there to do that. So mind your business, don't mind theirs. But one of my rules is just, I just don't regard people talking outside of their department.
Yeah.
Okay?
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. That's a start. Because if you start listening to everybody about everything, now shit gets weird. Why are we doing that? Oh, this guy said I should do it.
And
that's
then what your business starts to get messy.
People start getting annoyed. Like, it doesn't work. It never worked out. On top of that, in all my years, I've never seen this guy's opinion about that guy's job be better. Okay? Then within your job, I have a rule. So long as you're not trying to make me change my mind, the answer is yes. We should make the wall blue. What about glossy blue? Yes. Okay. We should make the wall blue. What about red? No.
Okay.
Well, you know, red, I really think no. Yeah, but no. Okay, well, what about glossy? Yeah, glossy blue. I love that. Do that. You know what I'm saying? So long as you're not changing, you're not trying to make me change my mind, the answer is yes. You got your direction, and now fucking be free. Well, you can feel that already, right? Oh, that's a better work environment. Because somebody, no, I don't, man. So here's the two things in all my years. Anytime someone has said to me or talked me out of something and made me change my mind, I sat in the edit like, fuck, man, I shouldn't have changed my mind.
It's going back to that little whisper in the ear.
Now, on the flip side, anytime I have been approached by one of my people who said, hey, X, what if we did this? They weren't trying to make me change my mind. They just had a thing on top of it. And I said, no. I sat in the edit and regretted that too. So it's building an environment where people feel free to be creative and know that they're going to be, because I've been around, I've seen directors, it's not their ideas, they're like kids, and when you're here to play what, you know what I'm saying? They're like bad.
Do what I say. Like.
Do what I say, and we're playing my game because it's my toy. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do it, they get it. And that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Well, the kids will play, they want to play with the toy, but they're like, fuck this guy. They find, you feel what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Everything you need to know about life and behavior is all still reflective of childhood behavior, right? So this now makes people feel like I'm doing something here. We're all chasing a dream. We all want to do something. And now I get to, you know what I'm saying? Because within that, they want leadership. Because if you now, even on a little level, not only is changing your mind bad because it's the wrong thing to do, changing your mind when someone tells you to do it, the person goes, I'm practically the director. You know, I'm the guy who told them to make the wall red. Seriously, I've heard these conversations. I've seen these things happen. There's a bunch of fucking executives who think because they sat at the monitor and said, I don't know if I like those shoes.
That they're the director.
They think they're the fucking director. You've seen this happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's just with an opinion, let alone they actually changed your mind.
Even artists nowadays are directed by the artist.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So this is my formula and this is what works for me. I can't say it works for everyone, but you got to build your thing.
Yeah.
But for me, this is what I do. This is what I do to, like I said, get my people being creative, getting why I fucking hired them to be here, getting that out of them, and as well having a good foundation of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So these are the games. This is the game we're playing.
With all your years of being a director, and I gotta read through this. You've done videos for such as Usher, Yeah, Aaliyah, I Care For You, Jay-Z, Excuse Me Miss, Rihanna and Drake, Work, DJ Khaled, Popstar, and many others. When you've been doing videos, has there been a video in your career that you've done and you're like, oh, I'm so happy I've done that, that changed my life?
Yeah. I mean...
And what video was it?
I think one of the biggest life-changing music videos for me was Donald Jones' Where I Want to Be.
Classic.
I was just in a zone. I was like, you know, the store, when remember he's shopping with his girl and she's looking at something and this beautiful girl comes walking out and they're looking at each other and he's like, oh my God, right? This yellow store. That was white. I painted it yellow. I don't know why. I was just in a zone. Painted yellow. The wardrobe and the look. The director of photography is a guy named Claudio Miranda. And he won the Academy Award for cinematography for The Life of Pi. Right? So the cinematography wise, it's unbelievable. But then, you know, the red bed, he's cheating on his girl with the red bed and she's crying over him on the blue bed. Like all these hard, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things that were just
you know, when you're saying this, I'm remembering it now, yeah? And it's like, when you're saying it, I'm remembering it as like, watching it and you're saying it as the director.
Yeah.
I got chills. Like.
Yeah. I was just in the zone and listening to the voice and going with it. And it was just in a space and that song and the concept and the look and just everything about it was like, oh my God. And you felt this fucking thing, like the story, you knew what was going on. And I think that was one of the videos that made people, not just made me like, yo, look, I nailed it. But people go, okay, this guy can fucking, this is serious. You know what I mean? And yeah, that was one of the big ones.
Obviously, we all know that you're Canadian and you've got a long line of videos with Drake and obviously a good relationship. When you and Drake come together, it's always magical. With the ideas that you do for his videos, like where does it come from? Where does your inspiration for his videos come from? Because I feel like his videos are a lot different to the videos that you do for other people and other artists.
Drake is a big driving force behind, like, you know, Hypher was his idea. Popstar was his idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's there thinking up ideas and this is what we're going to do. So he's really invested into the creative. of his music videos, which I think every artist should be. And that's why it's a better reflection of him. That's why, you know what I mean? Because they're from him. And then from there, it's building that, right? So it's not like he says, I have an idea, first verse this, and then that happens here. And then like for Justin Bieber, it's like, oh yeah, Justin Bieber, like, you know, Khaled wants me to do a video, but I can't go. So, you know, and then then you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And I figured it out.
Yeah.
So sometimes directing is that, even in the music video space, you know, if your career moves on to doing film and television, you know, there's a whole world of work for hire directors that they show up and shoot the script. Do that and make it something. You feel what I'm saying? So that there's that space of working with artists where if they have a good creative, then you shift into that form of directing, which is, I'm going to take the thing you want and expand and build. And what if we this and what if we that? And look what I think, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, with Drake, there's a lot of that.
Within your career, you transitioned into doing TV, film, and commercials. Obviously, you still do music videos, but we're going to go from being a music video director solely to doing that. What are some of the key points that you learned when you done TV, film, and commercials, yeah, that you didn't know when you was doing music videos?
I mean, those ones, so let's start with commercials.
Yeah.
Because music videos and commercials, like when you get represented by a company, you'll get signed for music videos and commercials.
Okay.
So these go together. When you're represented for film and television, my agent in Hollywood does film and television.
Okay, yeah.
My company here does music videos and commercials. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the big difference is with commercials is that it's their idea. And you got to really, it's not like our idea like a artist like, hey man, I was thinking about the thing and I think maybe I would drive a car. And it's like, no. An advertising agency hires creative people, right? You got an art director and a copywriter. And they have a bunch of them. And say they sign a client. They sign, you know, this water company. I need water commercials. All your creatives now go off and come up with water commercial ideas. And this one wants to this one wants to that. And the client listens to them all and they says, we like your idea.
Yeah.
Now these two guys are making a commercial. And then now that they've got, this takes time, eh?
Yeah.
We're probably maybe a few months into the process. Not to mention when the agency signed that client. This commercial represents a long line of work. So this idea this is the fucking idea. It took us a while. So by the time you're on a call with an agency, they've been through it. They've fine-tuned the idea. They've had conversations. And, you know what I'm saying? This isn't like, no. And they want the director to come in there with their own ideas, make it better, but not new ideas like change your idea. I want your ideas on top of my idea.
Yeah.
What if I did this with the camera? What if they all did that? What if we did this? They want you to make it yours, but still it's theirs, right? And they want that passion. They want to feel like this is all you are thinking. This is your life is this commercial. It is literally their baby. In the same way, like if you walked into a fucking daycare and said, all right, here's my kid. They're like, yeah, it's just put it over there. No, they want you want the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to look after it and nurture it.
That's what they're looking for from you. To be creative, but still respecting what they did. To be collaborative. I think what I learned the most and when things really changed for me in the commercial world was really beginning to understand that this is theirs and I'm here to do something for them and listen to them and not in the way and still bring in what I was saying before. So say we're doing a commercial and we have a wall and I'm going to make the wall orange, right? And then the client comes in. I don't like orange. We should do purple. And now you're in a situation.
Because it's no matter what you want, the client.
Well, it's the client now. You and the client. But here's the key. If you say no, leave it orange, you're wrong. If you say no, make it purple, you're also wrong. It is, I don't know about purple, but what about green? And the guy goes, green, make it green. Feel me? That you're listening to what they're right about is the instinct. What they don't know to do is not suggest. All they wouldn't, I don't like orange. I don't like orange. Something doesn't feel right about orange. You know, oh, okay. You feel me? And that's the key I've found with working with a client. You're not following their orders, and they don't want you to follow their orders, but they want to be heard.
Yeah.
And they're beyond being heard. You're not making it green or changing it because that's the political right thing to do, although it is. But you're doing it because they're right. It's their thing. They're just as you're instinctually connected to the job, so are they. Right? So it's listening to what people, I don't know about, what if we did that? You feel what I'm saying? It's listening to these folks, and they're right. I just did a car commercial. And the way it was written, at the end of the car commercial, the guy pulls up and he says something to his friends, and the friends gather around and they kind of laugh and joke, and he's sitting in the car. We board it out and we show him, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then the client says, I don't know if I like him, right, in the car at the end. I mean, I'd like to see the car. And go, oh, well, that'll be hard, and maybe they'll fuck up this. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? And then as I'm doing it, I go, no, he's right. They should get out of the car. Not because he's the client, I have to do what he says. His gut instinct is connected to the job, and he was fucking right. And I got him out of the car, and it's a way better shot. It's way more interesting as opposed to, no. This is way better. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's the key, where in commercial world, it is hearing people out, working together. Again, you're not doing what they say because you have to. You're not some worker bee for them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they are instinctually connected to this, and you should listen to when they say, something's not right here. You know what I mean? And that mindset, when I went into making movies, like studio pictures or television especially, where you're always listening, you're always considering, to the point where you're like, what was that you want to do? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? If anyone, no, what was that? No, what was it?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It might be fucking something.
Yeah.
Right? And again, that's part of making people feel like I'm being heard, I'm being respected, I can now give. And it's, even if it's a bad idea, we might turn it into you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That this is what you want in a space like this, because there's just so much going on. You need everyone should be, you never know who's going to catch fuck, yeah. You feel what I'm saying? This is all important stuff. And that's really what I feel those more corporate jobs do. And this isn't for everybody. Some people are too artsy-fartsy to do this kind of shit when it comes to like commercials and like some people just ain't ready for someone to do shit like that.
To stick in the lane that they're in, and they don't want to change.
Well, if you're artsy, this is a collaborative art form. It just is what it is. Okay. All across the board. Now, some people are not collaborative, which is fine. Some people are, it's my idea or nothing. And they do. And if you can be that way and the work gets you, you know what I'm saying? For those guys, if your work warrants that approach, more power to you. Right? That's incredible. But there are people in this world who say they're collaborative. And then once they get in there, they're not collaborative. And you need to be honest with yourself, which one you are, and then stick to that. If you're not a collaborative filmmaker, don't be, and there's nothing wrong with it. God bless you. Write it, produce it, direct it. You ain't telling Quentin Tarantino shit. You feel what I'm saying? And he's Quentin fucking Tarantino. There's a lane for that. You understand? But don't pretend to be the one, but then be the other, because that angers people. I mean, people really work hard. Like I said, it takes months to get your commercial to the point that you're shooting one. People work really hard to make people putting fucking real love into these things.
Yeah.
And then you come in there like, man, fuck off. Don't talk to me. Let me just do this thing for you.
Like it's just a quick job. It's not a quick job.
Bro, this is my thing. You're doing my thing. What do you mean you're not going to listen to me?
Yeah.
You feel me? So that gets anger. This gets into a lot of shit. So again, being collaborative, but being collaborative in a way that still respects your position as the director and doing what you're supposed to do. It is the director. It is a leadership position. You have to lead.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
From commercial, you've also done films. You was a visual consultant for Belly for Hype Williams, You've got your own film, Superfly, and you even got your TV show, Robin Hood. When you got into that space where you now have your own films, how did that make you feel? And how did the ideas come for Superfly and Robin Hood?
I mean, it feels great to be making your thing. I mean, what's interesting about both those projects is that they're adaptations of other ones. Mm-hmm. So what was really important for me was being true to the source material. Mm-hmm. Right? Even in one where, well, both of them when you're modernizing it, mm-hmm. but in both versions. So in Superfly, all the characters that are in the original Superfly are in my Superfly. Mm-hmm. All the major story points from the original Superfly are in my Superfly. The same with Robin Hood. Mm-hmm. Robin, Little John, Guy Gisborne. We're trying to stay as true as we can, even though we're twisting it and giving a new spin, mm-hmm. as true to the original as possible.
In Robin Hood, you shot it in Toronto, mm-hmm. and you also had people from your hometown that's influential in the TV show.
Yeah.
How important was that for you to really involve?
I mean, it's great. At some point, like we shot in Hamilton, mm-hmm. for the exteriors. We had the stage out here, mm-hmm. in Toronto. It's great if you can do it.
Yeah.
But you can't get hung up on these outside things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you're shooting and making a project. If you can make it happen, that's great. Mm-hmm. But it was not like, it has to be done here.
Yeah.
Because in fact, I wanted to shoot the exteriors in Toronto. I wanted a neighborhood out here. Yeah. But the budget wouldn't allow for it, so we had to go to Hamilton. But then, again, working with these things, the universe will push you into the better position. Mm-hmm. So now we're out in Hamilton. Well, now it can't be a big city. Yeah. Well, that's actually better. Because, robbing and stealing in this modern day and age of cameras and phones, like it's just how fucking getting away with this shit is damn near impossible. But now if it's a small town, if New Nottingham is not the big city, if New Nottingham is a little city in the shadow of the big city, well, now I got a great story point. Now we have a reason why the police don't have all the resources. Now, you feel what I'm saying? So that is part of the process when you get these things that you have this vision, but then it changes. Embracing this change will make a better thing for you. Mm-hmm.
I know that we could sit here for another hour or two, but before we wrap up, there's something I've always wanted to ask you. Do you understand how influential you are to every director and every camera operator that literally touches the industry? And how does it make you feel? And do you feel the pressure? Not pressure, but do you feel the weight on you in every project? Like, because there's a lot of eyes on you. There's a lot of young kids watching you and will say, yo, when I grow up, I want to be Director X. Because I know when I first started Instagram, you're the first person that I followed. You know what I mean? And that's years ago. And I know that I'm not the only person. That could have been you. It could have been yourself, Jake. Like, do you understand the influence that you have?
Yeah, I get. And it's not just me. Like there's that circle of directors at that time, especially in hip hop, because hip hop reveres not just the artist, but the executive, the manager, the director, the producer. You know what I mean? Like we look at the whole thing, right? So I understand what that means, especially for the generation that grew up in that music video era. I mean, what a blessing, right? None of us were thinking about that when we were making it, but wow. I mean, you're still asking me to do interviews. There's no weight. It doesn't feel like there's a weight I must carry because that work was done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, to hear these stories of the influence and people like, making their decisions on what they want to do with their life based on something you did, or it's incredible. So I hope I ain't led you all down the wrong path.
Last question I want to ask is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Meditate. Meditation, especially when you're young and fiery, meditation will calm that. Meditation will make the parts of your brain that are supposed to be big, it'll make them bigger. The parts of your brain that are supposed to be small, it will make it smaller. It's exercising your brain, literally exercising your brain. And it will affect your entire life and calm you down in a way that's important, especially in a job where it's about being calm, where you are the leader and you fucking want to freak it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything about life improves. Just like everything about life improves when you exercise. And even if that's just walking, you know what I mean? Everything about your life improves when you exercise your brain. So if I could tell my younger self anything, meditate and buy the brownstone across the street in Brooklyn. But
Nah, X.
yeah, it's real estate, meditation and real estate advice.
Nah, X, I really do appreciate you coming. Like I said, we could sit here for another hour and really go through like your career and what you've done and the milestones that you hit, the awards, the Grammy nominations. Like there's so much that you've done. And for me, sitting here talking to you and just getting your story, it means a lot to me. And I hope it means a lot to the viewers watching it as well. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, brother.
And I wish you the best. I don't know what you got coming up next, but I know you probably got some crazy stuff up your sleeve.
You know me, brother. You know I'm on it.
I'm Flash Johnson. I'd like to thank you for watching this episode of Director's Cut. Until next time.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of Director's Cut. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.